this is the start of a reading vlog. You probably just saw a montage of me making chai latte, and I have to say, this was the first time I was making chai latte. And it slaps. It slaps so hard. So I will link, if I remember to do that, I will link the recipe in the description. Also look at my cute bag. It's a penguin. I feel like at first I should update you on what I'm reading, but I want to read a little bit more of Bani by Mana Awad, because I don't have, I haven't read enough to form coherent thoughts on that book. So I'm going to read a chapter or two more of that book, and then I'm going to do an update on what I'm currently reading. So cue a montage of me reading. Okay, we're back. So, technically on my currently reading list on Goodreads, I have 5 books, but one is a textbook pretty much about art, so I'm not counting that. And one is a classic, and that is Anna Karenina. But I got a little bit over halfway through the book, and I'm not hating it, but I'm also not particularly enjoying it. So I put it down for October because there's a lot of books I wanted to read in October, so I'm going to pick Anna Karenina back up in November. So there are 3 books that I'm currently reading other than those 2. One book that I'm really not enjoying, one book that I'm not sure what to think about just yet, and one that I'm actually quite enjoying so far. So let's start from the bottom of the list, and that is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people love Charles Dickens, and like I've said a few times, this was going to be my last chance that I was going to give, Charles Dickens. I was going to see if I can enjoy his books, because I've read Great Expectations and A Christmas Carol. They were both kind of 3-star reads, and it's not that there are bad books, it's just that I don't like Charles Dickens' writing style. I don't like how he writes his characters. They tend to be kind of caricatures more than real people. And yeah, so I wanted to give Charles Dickens one last chance, and honestly, I'm just not enjoying myself. And with each chapter, after finishing a chapter, I'm just okay, I got through it. And this is not the feeling I want to have while reading a book. So I'm not sure if I should DNF it or not. I think I'm going to read 2 or 3 more chapters. I think I want to get to the 100 pages mark, the 100-page mark, and if I'm still not enjoying myself, I'm going to DNF it. This is particularly hard to read, I think, because, for example, when it comes to Great Expectations, you have Pip, who is the main character of the story, and you really get to know him, and we start the story when he's a child, and he grows up. You really I guess you have time to get attached to him. And here we kind of jump around a lot, and there's a lot of historical context, and I just don't care. That's the bottom line. I don't know, because I am that petty person that finishes the book just so I could say, yeah, I finished it, and because there are people who are oh, you DNF'd it, so you don't know how it ended, and therefore you can't really judge it, or you can't say it was a bad book, or because I don't know why I have this fear that if I DNF a book and I say I hated it, people are going to be oh, that's because you DNF'd it, you didn't finish it. So most of the time I'm just a petty bitch that's just going to continue just so I can say, yeah, I read it all and I hated it, which is dumb. Honestly, joke's on me, because it's me who's wasting my time. So what's the point? But I don't know. I could DNF it right now, but I think I'm going to read a few more chapters and probably DNF it anyway, so we'll see what happens. Then we have something I'm reading as an ebook on Script, and that is Bunny by Mana Awad. It's about this postgraduate student, is that what you call it? I think she's doing a master's degree. Although we don't really, I've read like 6 chapters and we still don't really know much about her. And the storytelling and like the structure of the book is really weird, but I do know it's going to be a very weird book, so I'm holding my judgment a little bit. So yeah, she's doing her master's in creative writing, and there's in her workshop there's this group of girls, 4 girls I believe, and they all call each other bunnies, and they're really like annoying and like annoyingly sweet to each other. And it's weird because like the main character is kind of like grungy and like hates them so much, but also wants to be a part of their group because she doesn't want to feel left out. And yeah, but I'm definitely going to continue, and it is a horror, so I really don't know where it's gonna go. But yeah, I am intrigued. And then we have something that really made me happy because I started it last night. Oh, also I feel like I should tell you, with all of those books, I'm kind of like around 50 pages in. I'm 45 pages into The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the main character. He seems so sweet and nice, and I like reading about those kind of people. And yeah, he has met the woman in white. He did give her directions. I said in my TBR video that she came into his house, but that's not true. They met on like an empty street, and she asked for directions and he gave her directions. Yeah, and then it is revealed that this woman escaped from an asylum, but like pretty much the next day or a few days later, he's leaving to the countryside, I think, to teach like drawing to like those 2 like young ladies. And yeah, I don't find it creepy. I do find it interesting. I do hope this is more like mystery than and like more of a detective novel than kind of thrillery gothic type of fiction, because I don't really care about the thrilling parts in books or like the atmospheric parts. I don't really care for that, but so far really good. So there's that. I'm actually starting this reading vlog on a Sunday, and yeah, I'm not sure how long I'm going to vlog for, but tomorrow I'm going to have kind of a busy day. I have to work on my thesis, and also I'm going to make a apple crisp, vegan apple crisp. It's not a pie. I'm going to make a vegan apple crisp. Let's call it that. Because my friend is coming over and we're going to watch the 1940 adaptation of Rebecca, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, because, you know, the 2020 adaptation with Armie Hammer and Lily Collins, I think, is coming out on 21st of October. So that's exciting, but I haven't watched the older adaptation, so I'm very excited. It's supposedly really good. It's black and white too. So yeah, tomorrow in the evening my friend is coming over. We're going to eat apple pie, drink mulled wine, and watch old movies. So it's gonna be fun. So I'll probably see you tomorrow. Okay, so yesterday I didn't record at all because I was busy, and in the evening my friend came over so we could watch the 1940s adaptation of Rebecca. And I quite liked it. I'm surprised that it changed the ending. At first I didn't notice it, but my friend like just finished the book and said, oh, they changed the ending. I was like, what? And yeah, they did. And I'm not sure how I feel about it, but overall I really enjoyed it. I feel like sometimes when it comes to like really old movies, like those black and white movies, the acting can be a little bit like overdone. You like they're playing caricatures, not real people. But with this one, I was pleasantly surprised. And, you know, it's still a movie from the 1940s, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, I would recommend it. So now I have like a week until the 2020 adaptation comes out. So I am excited. Not much reading was done. I think I'm on page 108 when it comes to A Tale of Two Cities. And I'm a little bit more interested because now the scenes were more about characters I know, and we were introduced to some other characters that I'm interested in, but I still know it's not going to be anything more than a 3-star, so I'm still contemplating DNFing it. But yeah, I think I'm exactly like 25% in, so I don't know, we'll see. I read a little bit more of Bunny, and it's weird, but it's not as weird as I thought it was going to be. But it might, I mean, I'm like 20% in, so it still can turn weirder. Also, what bothers me is that I know that, you know, A Tale of Two Cities is going to be like a 2 or 3-star, and because I'm reading it, I'm not reading A Woman in White, and I am enjoying A Woman in White. I mean, what I read so far I've enjoyed, so I don't know. But yeah, what I'm excited about is the fact that it's finally like cold and rainy and gloomy outside, and it finally feels like October. So yeah, what I'm not excited about is the fact that I have to go out and pick up my package. So I bought some trousers. Oh, I hate saying trousers, but every time I say pants, whenever I would say pants in a conversation with my friend Erin from the UK, she would assume I was talking about underwear, and it would just cause a lot of misunderstandings. So trousers. I'll show them to you when I pick them up. Okay, so I'm going to go pick them up, then make some coffee and read. Oh no. Okay, I'm just going to take out all of my bobby pins because my ponytail is just falling apart. Okay, so I came back from picking up my package. I made some coffee, and yeah, the trousers are not exactly what I wanted them to be. Let me show them to you. It's like checked pattern. Yeah, and they were supposed to be high-waisted, but well, not really. So basically, when I was ordering them on the site, it said they were high-waisted, but if I changed the color that I wanted to buy to like gray one, it said it was like regular waisted, or like it was a mid-raise or something like that. So I was like, so what's the truth? So I bought them, and I have to say they're not as high-waisted as I wanted them to be. They're definitely more of a like a mid-raise. So I think I'm going to return them. I was really excited though, because those pants would, you know, complement my dark academia aesthetic that we all strive for. But yeah, I think I'm going to return them. So yesterday I baked the vegan apple crust, and it came out really well. Me and my friend ate like more than half of it, even though she also brought some pumpkin bread. I'll leave the recipe in the description. Like, even if you're not vegan, I'm not vegan, but like this is just a really great way. look like a school teacher. Maybe I should put my hair down. Is this better? I don't know. Okay, so I came back from the cafe where I was working a little bit, and I feel like you deserve an update on how my reading is going. It's currently 8:30 in the evening. I feel like most of my updates are going to be in the evening, but yeah. So it's Wednesday, and since the last update I have officially DNF'd The Tale of Two Cities, A Tale of Two Cities, and I haven't looked back since. I do think it was a good idea because I was not enjoying myself, and it feels weird to DNF a classic, but I think it was the right decision because now I can focus on... First you can focus on me. Now I can focus on The Woman in White by Will Collins, which I'm very much enjoying. Like, seriously, I'm only like 90 pages in, pretty much, and it's just great. And I have this feeling... So before I started this book, I was a little bit worried that I was starting it so late, because I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I will have enough time to finish it in October, and I really wanted to finish it, you know, during Victober. But then I started reading it, and I'm just kind of like, well, nothing will happen if I like finish it in November, and like I really want to like take my time with it because I am enjoying it so much. And that kind of feeling where like I want to take time with a book because of how good it is, I get this feeling only with like 5 stars, so far so good. I also like tabbed it a little bit, so those tabs kind of show me where a perspective is changing, because this book actually has a lot of different perspectives. I think some do repeat. I think the first guy is at the beginning and at the end, what is he called? Walter Hartwright. And yeah, otherwise, like, there's so many different perspectives in this book, so I am very excited about this. But still, there's like 600 pages left, so this necessarily doesn't have to be like a 5-star read. The only critique I have of this book currently is that there are some hints dropped here and there, and they're like very obvious hints, and it always kind of takes time for the characters to like catch up and like realize what's going on, and it feels like the characters are always one step behind you, and I'm like, so I'm reading it and something's happening, something is like slowly revealed, or something is like hinted at, and I'm like, come on guys, like, it's obvious. And the characters, it takes them time to come to the same conclusion as you, and that sounds like bad, but it's still enjoyable. You're still like, I'm still entertained, and honestly those hints could be like red herrings anyway, and I still enjoy watching the characters come to the same conclusions. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, that's kind of the only thing that bothers me like a little bit. But I still have no idea where this book is coming, and like I'm sure there's going to be like a lot of like shocking revelations. So also, oh my god, a really creepy thing happened. So I was in the middle of the night, I was reading Bunny, and so I put A Woman in White down and I started reading Bunny on my phone, and like the lights were off, I was reading on my phone, and the weirdest thing happened, because it's this girl, and I told you about it, she's doing a master's in creative writing, and she is telling you how there's this one teacher whom she nicknamed Fosco or something like that. Is a female teacher and she calls her Fosco, and she says, and she took that name from the villain from The Woman in White, and I was like, what? So, I mean, it's not like a huge spoiler, I don't think, because if you look at the back, at the description, it tells you about that person and that it's going to be, you know, a villain. But I was shocked. I was like, this is so creepy. And yeah, when it comes to my update on Bunny, I don't have much to say. Things are getting weirder and weirder. She was invited to this meeting with the bunnies, and it's called Slut Salon, and it was weird. And after that she started seeing bunnies, and it's like, are they real or is it like a hallucination? So things are getting strange. But I am enjoying it, definitely more than I was in the beginning. So I was kind of thinking of starting another book, like maybe something not from my Victober TBR, something like a literary fiction. But I'm not quite sure what I could read from my physical TBR. I could read Severance by Ling Ma. I don't know if I want to read about a pandemic. Also, I could read Human Acts by Han Kang, but it's also supposed to be kind of... I don't know the plot at all, as always, but I don't think it's a very uplifting book. Like, I think it's going to be also quite dreary, like bleak, I guess, so I don't know. What other literary fiction or like contemporary fiction I have in my physical TBR? English Animals, but I don't feel like reading that. Unseen World, but it's kind of long and I don't want to start a long book. I ordered If I Had Your Face by Francis Cha, I think, because someone told... who was it? I don't remember. So some booktuber said that it kind of reads like a slice of life, and that just like sold me on that book. Because I do know it's set in South Korea and it's about those 3 or 4 women, very different women, that are just like living their life, and it's about the beauty standards of South Korea that seem to be quite strict. Yeah, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of social commentary, but it's still going to be slice of life, so it's going to be, I'm assuming, kind of character focused and like about like mundane life, and I do like those kind of books. So I also ordered Real Life, but I actually pre-ordered it. I mean, it already came out, but the paperback that I wanted is coming out in a few days, few weeks, I don't remember. But yeah, also I bought some bookmarks. I bought a bookmark from Caroline Reads, the E.M. Forster one, so I'm really excited about that. And I bought this like really cool bookmark from Brittany, what's her name? She's from the Netherlands. I'm sure you all know her. Ooh, talking about Caroline Reads. Wait a second. I bought some candles, even though I'm not a huge fan of candles. Do you care? I'm just going to, if you don't, I'm just going to put the like timestamp where you can skip if you don't care about candles. Ooh. Okay, I was just burning this one, so this is kind of not very safe. I'm going to put this one down. But I bought 3 candles, and from like Village Candle, and it looks kind of like a rip-off from like Yankee candles. I'm not sure if you can see, but the logo and like the way it is designed, especially the bigger, like this is like a mini candle, but the bigger ones look so much like the Yankee candles, but it's nice. My favorite one is the, how do you pronounce that, eucalyptus mint, because I don't really like very like sweet scents, and this is very kind of a refreshing scent. And the one that was burning is actually the one that, I'm not in frame at all, hello. The one that Caroline from Caroline Reads, I feel like this is not her full channel name, Caroline Marie Reads, but she was talking about this candle, and it's called Black Bamboo. Yeah, you can see here, Black Bamboo. And Caroline was talking how, please focus back on me, and Caroline was talking about how this is a very like masculine scent, and I have to agree, this smells exactly like men's aftershave, and that's such a weird scent. Like, why would you want your whole room to smell like that? But when you like burn it, it doesn't actually have that strong of a scent, and I do like it. But I think when it comes to like buying a full-sized candle, I think I'm going to buy the eucalyptus mint one. So that was a fun rant about candles. Also, I showed you the pants that I bought. And they were 53% off, so that was a steal. I think I'm going to work a little bit more tonight, and then probably read The Woman in White. I want to finish Walter's perspective tonight, and the next perspective is from someone called Vincent Gilmer. Tomorrow I think I might go to the library, because the library, the like university library is going to be finally open, but there's not going to be that many seats available. I think there's some, I think it said that there can only be like 300 people there, and I will like update it on the site, like how many people are there currently. So before I leave, I will check if there are any like free places left. But yeah, I think tomorrow I will go to the library. It's like 3 p.m. in the afternoon and it's already so dark. So sorry about that. But it's going to be a very quick update because there's a freaking motorcycle outside. No, it's going to be a quick update because I do not have enough space on my camera. Basically, when it comes to The Woman in White, I'm still enjoying it. We switched perspective recently and I'm not a huge fan of this other perspective. It's basically like a family lawyer. So like I said, you know, the first narrator, Walter, he meets this woman in white, and then after meeting her he goes to this house to teach 2 young ladies drawing and painting. And it turns out that this family is actually kind of connected to the woman in white, of course. Yeah, basically the next perspective is from the family lawyer, but it's not going to last long. I think it's like 50 pages, maybe less than that even. But yeah, still enjoying it, still a long way to go. When it comes to Bunny, I finished the first part, and only after finishing the first part I realized there's kind of 3 parts of the story. So finished the first part, I'm like 40% in, so I'm almost halfway through it, surprisingly. And I can't say anything about the plot, but I do have some thoughts. So there was this one thing that I kind of called from the beginning. It wasn't like revealed yet, but I have a strong feeling that I'm right in my assumption that I had from the very beginning about one of the characters. I might be wrong, but I kind of feel like I know where this is going. And there's one critique that I have I kind of wanted to hold onto until I finished the story, but I'm going to tell you quickly. Because it's so... Oh, I do not have enough space on my camera for this. Okay, wait a second. Okay, I'm back. I deleted some things. Am I too close to you? Oh well. So, because it's so weirdly written, like the whole story is weird, but like the narrative is also weird, and you're kind of like, most of the time you're thinking, is this real? Is this narrator like reliable? So there's a lot of weird things happening. But because of the kind of narrative structure, and not structure, but the way things are like presented to you, I don't feel really a connection to the main character or any other characters. And because of that, I am not like really invested in the story. Like, I don't even find it particularly scary, even though it's horror, because I don't care about the characters. Like, I'm not worried about their well-being. Like, it could turn out that they're all like aliens or anything like completely outrageous, and I would be like, yeah, okay. So yeah, I don't feel like super connected to the story, but I'm still intrigued. And that's what keeps me going. So yeah, we'll see how right I am with my kind of assumptions. Yeah, today is Friday. I think I will keep filming this vlog until Sunday, and my resolution is to finish Bunny by Sunday, so I feel like I accomplished something in this vlog. But yeah, the plan for today is to work a little bit more and make sweet potato stew. A sweet potato chili. There are a few like names for this, but it's basically like the same ingredients. So yeah, I hope it will turn out okay. Controversial opinion, but I do like sweet potatoes more than regular potatoes. Yeah, like, I know like you can use regular potatoes for a lot of things, but I just don't really care for regular potatoes. It's like I don't even really like fries, which upsets a lot of people. I don't know why. Yeah, like fries, chips. Like I would eat them if someone like bought them and put them like in front of me, but I'm definitely someone who has more of a sweet tooth, and I'm not like huge on like savory snacks. So yeah, but sweet potato fries, exquisite. Wow, I feel like a true vlogger. How do people do this? I've been holding this camera for like 10 seconds and my hand is already tired. Okay, so I started editing this vlog and realized that I already have so much footage that I should like wrap it up. So it is actually Sunday, so I started on Sunday and we're finishing up on Sunday. I really wanted to finish after I finished Bunny, but I'm still like 60% into it. So I might do this update quickly and try finishing it and then do the final update. But yeah, the update is yesterday. I didn't vlog anything because I pretty much did nothing. I downloaded Clue or like Cluedo on my computer and I was playing it like online for like 3 hours. And then for an hour I was lying on the floor while listening to Schubert's sonata. So if that tells you anything about my mental state. So yeah, what I read this week. I DNF'd A Tale of Two Cities. I'm glad I did, because then I could focus on something that I was actually enjoying, which is The Woman in White. I just finished the second perspective from the lawyer's point of view, and in the end, you know, I came around. I kind of actually liked his character. He turned out to actually have some emotions, and because at first he was like very calculating, and I was like, ooh. It didn't seem fun to read from his perspective, but turned out he was kind of a softie on the inside, so he got me. Now we have one of the sisters' perspective, which I'm very excited about, but also a little bit worried because the way she is presented in the story is a little bit problematic. Like the first she was introduced in the book, she was like, when we were reading from Walter's point of view, she was described as like very ugly, but then he realized he's actually very smart and witty, and then he started describing her as very like masculine, and like it's weird because like, oh, she's smart, so she can be feminine. I'm just like confused, and I'm really worried because there were some times when she was talking about like femininity and like womanhood, and I'm not sure if she was being sarcastic in what she was saying, or if she was a little bit looking down on like femininity, because like you can be smart and be feminine. Like what? I mean, it is the 19th century, but still. But yeah, so far The Woman in White, very interesting. Definitely more of a mystery novel than like a thriller, so that makes me happy. Bunny. I kind of feel like I know where this is going. I really enjoy the parts where they're talking about the writing process, and like this whole book kind of feels like a metaphor for the writing process, and I do enjoy it, but I don't enjoy the characters. So I will update you if I manage to finish Bunny. Oh right, and the last thing, on Friday evening I was actually reading Oscar Wilde's short story called The Canterville's Ghost. And it was very fun. I gave it 4 stars. It kind of, the beginning reminded me of Lord Arthur Saville's Crime, because it also kind of felt like it was making fun of like gothic fiction, and like I just really enjoy that. But yeah, it was basically about this American family that buys this like mansion in England, and the owners tell them like this like mansion is haunted, and they're like, there are no ghosts. And I thought because of that it would be very much like Arthur Saville's Crime, where they're like very pragmatic and like will not acknowledge that there are like, you know, ghosts and like spirits. And then at the very beginning still this short story takes a turn, because like we find out that there is actually a ghost, and then the family kind of like acknowledges that the ghost does exist, but they're still like, ugh, okay, like stop making noise at night, like it's annoying, come on. And it's funny, but then we kind of start reading from the perspective of the ghost, who's like really like distraught and like angry that they're not taking him seriously. So it's funny, it's entertaining, yeah, like 20 pages long or something like that, and yeah, I gave it 4 stars. Now I will try to finish Bunny. We'll see how that works out. Okay. Real quick, it is the next day. I did finish Bunny, 3.5 stars. I was correct with most of my predictions, but that still didn't ruin the book for me. I did enjoy the third part the most, I think. I liked all the scenes at the workshop, and I liked how he was describing the university and the classes, and I liked how pretentious the workshops were. Yeah. Like I said, all of my critique kind of stands, like because of how this is written. I couldn't like connect with the characters, but it was interesting with what it had to say. It was a little bit heavy-handed, but maybe I kind of noticed it because I kind of caught on what was going on quickly, but I wasn't fully right. So this vlog is like super long already, so I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye!